What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first PSUK podcast. Hopefully we're going to talk about a bit of video games, mixing in some general news too, and we'll probably digress into some football rants near the end. I'm already messing up. Your host for today is me, Puddy. My alias is Matsudiro. I've got Tanner with me, whose alias is T-Dog, and I've got Callum with me, whose alias is Deano.
Hello.
Heyo.
First section we have for you today is a channel update, or as we're going to deem it, the Tanner update, from our channel manager, Tanner. Take it away.
Alrighty, so I wanted to kind of start off just by welcoming the two newer directors that we have recently added, Rickster and Kippa Swish, is how I'm going to go with that. That's their YouTube channel names. Actually, I think one of them's already created a Minecraft server, possibly for us today, I think is what they were discussing in the chat. So that's pretty cool. And then I wanted to touch on the videos we have for this week. We have our first ever non-gaming video going up on Monday morning. I'm interested to see how that is going. I think his name is Felix. It's called Felix Duty Calls, and basically he kind of like plays Call of Duty first person with a camera. So that's pretty cool. We have an FM1 career mode going up. Very interesting for this one is we have two Tomb Raider reviews. One will be up Friday, and then the next one will be up Tuesday, and I'm putting both of them up basically just so you can kind of see two different viewpoints on how the game is. Since it's a game I don't play, I'm interested to checking those out. We have League of Legends. We have Draw My Things, which is not something that I play either, but...
That is an awesome game.
Yeah, I hear a lot. We also have... we have to have your scare games. We have Amnesia. We have Closure. Putty, we have your Red Dead going up and later in the week. We have the FIFA 13 Play to Win series, which I believe is on episode 5. And hopefully we will have some sort of indie spotlight video, which we can touch on a little bit as we go on. But that is all I have, unless you guys have anything else.
That channel update gets shorter and shorter every time.
Wow, I wish you could see the pages I wrote for the first one that we did when it was just you and me, and then the second one. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Alright, so if you guys want to jump into the gaming news, the first thing we have for you today is the biggest topic of the week, the biggest hate shouting around, thumbs down reviews, terrible game, kind of shouting from the rooftops subject, and that is the SimCity launch that happened this week, and obviously the big problems they're having with the servers. Callum, I think you know more about this than the rest of us, if you'd like to explain the situation.
So considering I got the game Friday, from what I was reading and looking at from streams, and Tanner, as you said earlier, as you're watching from streams as well, how bad the servers couldn't even cope with the amount of people. Like, if I go on it now, I should be able to play it fine, but I'm not going to play it because I'm doing this podcast, obviously. But other than that, when you get into the game, it's actually a decent game. It's well laid out. It's very nice. The engine's very nice, except natural disasters are a pain in the arse, and especially when you get to in your first city, it's an absolute pain.
Don't they have zombie apocalypses in it?
Yeah, they do, but they don't really do much when you have like plenty of cops. But yeah, except what I don't understand with what EA like to do is that who the fuck would pay like £8 for like the German city set or like a French one? Like, I think for standards, you should have the Eiffel Tower and Big Ben in your standard SimCity game because they're like two iconic landmarks. You shouldn't really have to pay for them.
Weren't those in like the earlier SimCities?
Yeah, they were in the earlier.
Like you could build them.
Yeah, they're in the earlier SimCities as well. And with the German one, you get the Brandenburg Gate, but that's not that well known, but whatever, people probably.
And also with like downloaded and earlier, don't you get like a superhero or something?
Yeah, I got my game off Amazon because I'm not paying Origin's retarded £45. I'd rather pay 35 and get it cheaper and have it on disc, which I have over to the left of me. What else is there about SimCity to talk about?
Does it activate on Origin anyway? Is it like Steam where...
Yeah, I just put a code in from the box.
Yeah, okay.
Except the annoying thing about SimCity at the moment is like there's a shit ton of bugs. Like what would you call it? The emergency services are so stupid. Like, they wait in traffic. Like, if there's a fire, the firemen are like, oh shit, let's just sit in traffic and wait, when they could just blaring their sirens away and they could just like drive straight up through. It's just annoying. And there's other things like sewage as well. Like, sometimes I have a load of excess sewage. It's like, your sewage pipes are overflowing. It's like, no, they're not. And like water as well. It's like, you have no water when it tells me I have plenty of excess water. And then criminals are a pain in the arse as well. And arsonists, because they like to burn down my shit. And I don't like that when they do that.
And I had seen that actually, like, it came out later in Europe, so like, people that were having problems connecting to the North American servers were just going over to like the European servers and having no problem at all.
Yeah.
So that was what they were doing
everyone
earlier in
from
the
Europe
week.
just jumping on too.
Yeah.
It was a staggered, like, there is some reports coming out now because it was a staggered launch. Certain people's copies were getting unlocked earlier than other people's, so the service could handle things better. And it was getting reported that pre-orders were unlocking later than, say, like, day one purchases. So, obviously, you know, if you want to look at that like a conspiracy theorist, you could say EA were hoping people who had already pre-ordered would also buy another copy.
Yeah, because they did that, like, sort of like, people who got the deluxe edition as well, they would get in earlier than everyone else, or they would have priority over everyone else, which I thought was a little bit unfair.
Well, I think that's actually quite fair. Like, you don't get much for paying more money for a copy, usually, do you? And if you paid more money for it, I can see priority being quite fair.
Yeah, but in argument to that, everyone bought the game.
Yes.
It's not the person, well, it is the person's fault they bought the digital deluxe edition, and they should have the same amount of, like, chance to get into someone like me who bought the normal edition, and then other people bought the limited edition.
Yeah, you bought a game on it, and it said the release date, so you should have the game that you paid for on that release date. I completely understand.
Exactly, because I remember when I got it Friday, I pretty much got it installed, all downloaded, ready to play. Couldn't get on any servers for about like 3 hours, because I think I went to my youth club, because I tried to go to youth club random transition there, but back to the point.
Should we talk about local youth clubs?
Apparently all mines are getting shut down, and the one I go to is pretty good, but other than that, when I got back, I was able to play on it, which was fun, and then I've been hooked to it quite a lot. I've been on it. Like, hours just fly past. It's like Football Manager. I could just sit there for hours on end, just building a city and just watching it grow before my very eyes, and then find out, oh shit, it's like 4 a.m. and I need to go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do any of you take complete offense with, the biggest issue here before the launch disaster was the always-on DRM. The always-on online checks and things like that for cloud storage, and obviously DRM, microtransactions, things like that. Do you think then that it is an absolute, I was going to say sin, but that's probably the wrong word to use in this context, to have a traditionally single-player game require an always-on internet connection, or do you think it's just a symptom of advancing internet connections and things like that? I know me and you, Colin, we live in the UK, Tanner lives in the US, so there are different conditions here in terms of internet connections.
I don't know why EA went with like the whole DRM thing. Like, SimCity has pretty much been designed to always be a single player game.
Yeah.
But with what they've done though with the multiplayer is actually pretty good, because you can help build up regions with like your friends. Like, I've built a couple of regions up, and we're like nearing like 1 million people in like one of our regions, and it just helps. Because first, basically, you just start off building like industrial cities, because you can't do anything with like tourists, because you don't have any people to be tourists. Unless you get like an international airport, then you get like people from like the global market of tourists that just flock to your place, and you just get shit tons of tourists out the ass. The other examples of bad DRM, like, I'm sure we were naming a few earlier.
Yeah, we couldn't name many.
Some of the servers.
Yeah. Well, do you think then that there should have been offline options because it was a traditionally single-player game, or do you think the multiplayer features that they added, and I've seen that the game is very heavily reliant on multiplayer for some of the features to happen, do you think that was justified for the always-on connection? Does that justify the convenience of like traveling and things like that?
The thing is that with the multiplayer, that it's good, but half the time, like, because you can build like loads of departments and stuff of like your mayor's house, and in like you can use it in your region as well. So say if someone built like a department of like utilities, which is like the shitter, water, garbage and crap like that, then they could just basically, then I would get the ability to get, I don't know, what is it, like recycling dumps, water filtrate, or water, like massive water pumping stations or the sewage treatment plants. If I didn't have that, then it would just basically be, I would just have like a sewage flow pipe and I'd have to get people to like treat my Sims poo. Yeah, it's pretty nice to see poo just like flowing through your city. It's like up to the thing. Yeah, that's all I've pretty much got on SimCity. Gone for a while on SimCity there.
Yeah, it seems like you enjoyed the game. You obviously have
It is a good game, but it just had a retarded launch. And other than that, to anyone who actually has The Sims or SimCity, I was looking at an article like this morning, and it said to anyone who's going to buy SimCity before the 18th of March, which is next Monday, will get a free game, and I don't know what it will be. That's what I read. That's what I've got on SimCity.
It's actually tomorrow. I must point this out here. Tomorrow is the final day.
Is it?
Yes.
That's not. If I look
this is going up on Sunday, so yeah, this will be tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it will be one day then. So it will be the next day if this is as this will be up on Sunday.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's pretty much all. I was expecting more of a rant. Like DRM is the spawn of Hayton. DRM.
They are getting a lot of hating.
Yeah.
Some servers are just crap like with DRM. Like for example, like Magica. How that was so bad. That was so laggy.
Was that DRM?
Paradox, what you doing?
Servers?
I thought I had more respect for Paradox, but even though they do make good games like Hearts of Iron and Crusader Kings and stuff like that.
And they just put out the showdown effect.
And the showdown effect, whatever the hell that is.
Seems like a very good game. It's getting a lot of praise. Side-scrolling shooters.
Except, like, this is probably the last point I put on SimCity. What I was kind of disappointed with is that you can't have, like, agriculture, so you can't grow, like, crops and stuff to have, like, farming cities. And the weather is pretty much just rain. Like, you can't have snow, like, kind of, like, icy roads and stuff like that.
Are you sure
like,
that just hasn't detected that you're in England?
Yeah, but it snowed here the other day.
It's been snowing here in Wales for the last, 5 days.
No, we lost all our snow, like, earlier on.
We don't...
It's, like, seated.
None of it's sticking, but it's hammering down.
It's going to be 71 degrees here tomorrow.
Kelvin, I assume.
No, middle of the United States. It's 40 degrees today, 70 tomorrow, and then 40 the next day.
Wow.
Welcome to the center of the U.S.
See, I don't understand any of that because I go by Celsius.
What city do you live in the States?
I live in Nebraska, in a small town in Nebraska. So the name of the city is Kearney.
Kearney.
Yeah.
You don't happen to have a selection of carnivals, do you?
No, it doesn't. It's not spelled like that.
Okay.
It's actually named after a general that killed a bunch of Indians or something. I don't know. Wow. Actually, no, that's not true. He did expeditions. That's what happened. He's like built maps for Colorado in the southwest part, and then they named a fort after him.
Well,
that is pure dedication.
Yeah.
That ends the PSUK podcast education section.
Oh, I got all day.
It's great. It's good stuff. I'm sure people are really interested in this stuff.
Well, I live. The town I live in is just full of chavs and pikeys.
Yeah, probably agree with you there. But yeah,
and
much else.
My town is a shithole.
Yeah. Mine's mine's what I would describe as manure with flowers on top. You can't really smell the flowers anymore.
You just smell the manure.
Yeah. It looks pretty.
But it doesn't smell pretty.
Alright. Okay. So, there have been some recent changes to War Z after the big controversy about it being an alpha, but not being listed as an alpha. Lots of feature missing, things like that. And there's a lot of patches that have gone out recently, 2 days ago, which will be, 5 days ago when this comes out?
And there's actually one out today. They're shutting down the servers in 12 minutes.
In 12
War Z's
minutes.
full of shit. What?
So, Tanner, you wanted to talk about some of the changes that's been happening since the War Z came back on Steam, or do you want to go even further back than that?
No, because I got it after it came back on.
Bullshit. Wait, what?
So, okay, we can all get past the point that War Z was released, in quotes, as a full game with a bunch of overpromised things before it had all of it. So, how I've kind of developed my viewpoint on it is, I paid $15 for an alpha, and they're updating it as I play it. So, the forum, they do the patch notes, and basically almost every 2 days for the month of March, they've been fixing stuff. Now, if you read the forums, it's all controversial. They're just putting stuff in here to make you think they're working on it, but they have added...
It's lies.
They've added private servers now. The private servers you do have to pay for, and they're like $60, so that's a negative on my view. Yeah, to get a 50-person server, it's like 9,000 gold coins in the game, and like 9,000 gold coins is like $50.
I thought you were about to say $9,000.
No. But you can't buy less than a 50. So like people want like a 20 and 30-person server, but you can't buy that. Like the minimum is the $50 one. But they're working on that, I think, in the patch that they're working on right now. And then they actually just gave everyone like free gold coins a couple of patches ago, so that was nice. Like 350, so you could use them on the marketplace. And I don't know if it was some way to saturate things into the game or something, but I don't like to play it when I'm by myself, but me and Juppet have been playing it, and we probably play like 2 hours. Like he's like a half a day ahead of me, so like it's his nighttime, and I have to wake up at 7 o'clock to play. But I think it's a lot of fun to play when you have someone else there. So that's why I'm always trying to get people to play it.
So it's always better to play with that more people.
Yeah, do you actually enjoy it on your own?
On my own, no. I die every 5 minutes on my own.
Because I maintain the mentality that watching paint dry with a friend is fun.
Like, the way that, like, the zombies get to you, like, with one person, it's like 1 on 50, that'd be how it would be. But like with 2 people, you can pretty much wipe out a whole town full of like 100 zombies in probably 25 minutes if you're like stealthy and do it right. The biggest problem in the game, honestly, might be the other people that play it. So like me and him always find servers with less than 10 people on them, and then we get in them. So like the servers that have 100 people in them, you die from other people more than you die from zombies because they just shoot you on sight, which I don't know. Is that how... I've never played DayZ. Is that how that is in DayZ?
DayZ is good. That's all I can say. Like,
well, that's kind of how me and Juppet have
you
been
cannot
going
compare
about
War Z to DayZ at this point in time.
They both have a Z at the end.
Yeah, I think there's some sort of lawsuit going on
like
about that too.
Oh,
yeah, but there's other games like that as well. Like, I don't know what there is one game that I was looking at the other day that has like a Z at the end of their name.
How I'm looking at it is I paid $15 to play it basically until the DayZ standalone, which is supposed to be released hopefully by the end of this year. And
that's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, they did just have a Arma 2 sale on Steam, which I'm kind of mad about, which it would have been the same price as War Z to get that, and then the what is it called? The mod for DayZ is free, but I don't know.
I got my armor before DayZ was even popular. Like, I got my Armor 2 in, like, 2011.
Well, yeah, because now they just put the whole, like, complete collection of it on Steam.
Oh, that's a good series. I like Armor. I haven't played much of it, but...
Except Armor 3 as well, like, coming on to that game...
That looks awesome.
That game has a lot of potential.
From what I've seen, like, pre-release footage and things like that game looks really cool.
Except flying helicopters is a pain in the ass. I like the diving missions. They're fun.
Did you just say flying helicopters?
Yeah, flying helicopters are a pain in the ass.
Like piloting?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying, like, the helicopters that were flying were the pain in the ass. And the ones on the ground were okay.
Yeah, the diving missions that they've added in there are pretty fun.
I saw someone playing them. They were... I don't know. It's not my cup of tea.
What's this, the Arma 3 alpha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're adding to the alpha too. They're updating the alpha. They're adding more content to that too.
Yeah, I think so anyway. If not, then the beta's going to be out in like, when did they say it was? June.
And
So it's 3 months from now.
if you paid the $30, I think it is, for the alpha, you get the beta and the full game for free, right?
Yeah, I bought the alpha, like, when it was released. And I remember doing the infantry mission first, my whole squad died. Then I did the diving mission, I got lost. Then I did the helicopter mission, I could not fly a helicopter for shit. Then I did the vehicle mission, I actually completed that like first attempt.
Do you get to drive
Actually,
a tank?
Not in the alpha, no.
That's all I want to do.
That's all you want to do is drive a tank.
That's why I love World of Tanks. That's my game.
Things
That's
are
all you
World of
do.
Tanks, you've got World of Warplanes, and soon to be coming out World of Warships, I think it's called.
Have you guys
Yeah,
ever played the Flash game that's just called Tanks?
Yeah,
That's
that
Yeah.
game. That game I used to play with loads of people back in school.
Yep.
Year 8, year 9. We would just sit round computers and just play that game until we got caught.
Best pastime ever.
I remember back in when I was in year 9, me and this other guy, we were looking on the school hard drives and we found like Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 and we just told everyone where it was and everyone would just sit there and play that every IT lesson.
Yeah, I remember someone snuck like Minecraft and Slender into the school at some point, and then they got caught. And
I remember
funny.
used to be able to play Minecraft online and like the school didn't know about it, so we just played that for like a month and then they banned it.
FM Base is unblocked on my school's computer, so I've been downloading like kits and stuff and using it in my IT projects.
The FM base was unblocked from my school and college.
I don't think anybody really gives a shit about FM Base.
Except I don't go to college anymore. Except I'll probably go back when I get like an apprenticeship, but that's for the future.
Tangents.
Plenty of tangents.
I love my tangents. It's good, it fills up things. We get more topics in a lower period of time, and I'm sure nobody's watching this just for a specific topic, because the title is just like PSUK Podcast Episode 1. So nobody knows what we're actually going to be talking about.
Apprenticeships, they are much better than just going to college because A, you get money, and B, you get experience. With those going to college, you get experience, no money. And you get on-the-job training.
Unless
And
you
you
live
get
in
a health
Denmark,
schedule. Unless you live in Denmark. Why Denmark?
then you get
Because
paid.
Alvin gets tons of money.
Yeah, he gets like $8,000 a year to go to school.
Fuck. Oh yeah, he told me about that. Oh yeah, when we were streaming, he was saying that.
Yeah.
Except that stream didn't go very well, did it?
No, not really at all. And like I streamed today and it was fine. So like I don't know what was.
What did you stream today?
I streamed War Z for like an hour by myself and I died twice and I was just like, fuck this, I'm done.
You should stream again later on.
I have a soccer game to play in 2 hours, but I might stream after that. It'll be at like 10 o'clock.
Football games. Well, what is your home team called?
I don't have a home team.
What's the team you're playing for in a couple of hours time?
I think it's the Monday morning quarterbacks. It's a intramural co-ed team.
So you say you're playing a soccer game, but you're having quarterbacks.
I didn't name the team. but
Quarterbacks
it's-
are like wingbacks. That's pretty much what
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be 30 degrees outside, playing under the lights. It'll be fun.
I just play football in like parks and stuff.
I still do.
Yeah,
Me
not a lot of people do that around here.
We have a bunch of rugby posts, which we use as football goals, I mean.
I remember just getting jumpers and using them as goalposts.
Yeah, we do that at school, we use our bags.
But I used to play football like all the time at school. Even though I wasn't very good at it, I still played it.
Yeah, same.
I still enjoyed it. I played it through primary school as well, and I think from primary school I got about like 1 goal in like my whole primary school career. I'm more of a basketball player because I'm quite a tall person. I can just like slam dunk, so it's so easy. And I must have like the biggest horseshoe up my arse for like taking long shots. Because I'm pretty good at taking long shots.
Like the 3-pointers, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, but from like, not from like, you know, outside, from like pretty far back. And I just like throw it and like it goes in. occasionally.
I get the feeling if an actual basketball player told Callum where to stand for a long shot, he'd be like, this far back?
Yeah.
What you gotta do is just like throw it over your head, do like a football throw and just like lob the ball and just hope it goes in. More tangents about school. Put in the comments down below if you have scored any decent long shots in basketball.
I scored a couple. Like, on my old primary school, we have a tilted court. Like, it was made of stone, but it was court, so it was tilted because we were on a hill. It was built terribly. And so you had to take that into account while you were shooting. And I shot once to like the right of the basket and it actually curved into the basket.
Wow.
Yeah. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we continue on to general news, we do have some new releases. I'm not sure if any of you actually care. Resident Evil 6 is finally making its way to Windows and I assume Mac on the 23rd, which is when you're watching this next Saturday?
Friday.
You sure?
Yeah.
22nd?
Saturday.
Next Saturday, yeah.
Alright, 23rd is the Saturday.
6 days time.
That's the Resident Evil one. Yep. And then
We're never going to be able to get that right.
And then next Tuesday, we've got, I forgot it now, Bioshock Infinite finally comes out. And then on the Friday coming up now, not when we're recording this, when we're uploading this, there is Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate for the 3DS and I believe the Wii U.
I haven't played on a Wii U for a while. The only game I've played on the Wii U is Zombie U, and that game is meh. It's alright, but the story's like retarded.
I've got a good feeling that Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate, or at least Monster Hunter 4, will be a system seller for that, without a doubt in my mind.
Do you have a Wii U?
I do not have a Wii U. I'm going to be playing it on my 3DS XL.
3DS XL?
Yeah, I waited for the 3DS XL because one, I knew the prices were going to drop, and they did, by miles. And two, I got used to the DSi XL, so I didn't really want to customize to a small screen again.
Gonna go on to a weird tangent. I haven't slept for almost like 36 hours. I haven't slept for like 31 hours.
Okay.
Like the last time I went to sleep was about 8 o'clock Tuesday morning. Yeah, that was the last time I went to sleep. I'm insane. I haven't gone to sleep for like 48 hours before.
Yeah, I used to be like that.
Except my dad was taking me to like some apprenticeship thing, like in Crawley, like earlier on, which is like a bigger town near me, and I think I just like fell asleep for like 2 seconds. I was like woke up. My brain physically shut down.
Alright, does any of you play Monster Hunter?
No.
Not a Nintendo guy.
It's not a Nintendo series.
The only Nintendo games I like is Pokemon and Zelda and Mario and yes, that's all of them. Like the main generic ones.
Monster Hunter is not a Nintendo series. I have to point that out.
What is it on other systems?
It hasn't been since Monster Hunter Tri, but I'm pretty sure Monster Hunter 2 and 1 were on the PS1 and 2, respectively.
I could see that, yes.
Yeah.
I think I remember.
Oh yeah, and you into Resident Evil?
No, I've never played any.
I didn't even know it was actually like a zombie game.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like a zombie game.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't follow Resident
With
Evil.
some really terrible but really good profit-making movies in Europe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which I hear a lot of people complaining about them, and yes, I guess as watching them as a fan, that's insulting. But with how much money they make in Europe, they're paying for the games.
Resident Evil.
But don't they make the games in Japan?
Oh, sorry, my headphone came out. Yeah, they probably do, but I'm pretty sure they have to at least get a large majority of royalties, at least.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure the game creating company are seeing at least some of the massive profits from the movies.
Yes, I'm sure they are. Yeah. A very large pocket.
A very large pocket of Resident Evil movies.
Yeah.
And finally, Bioshock.
I've played number 1 and 2. Number 1 probably has the best plot twist of a game that I've ever played. Number 2 is just average. And then Infinite, I might try it out.
Bioshock is one of those games where I've heard such good things about it. That is, I have bought 1, 2, and Infinite, and I've not played them, not opened the packaging, put them in a box, and put them somewhere so that when I want to play a good game, when I've lost all hope in humanity, I will play them.
So Bioshock 1 is probably one of my most favourite games of all time, in like top 10, and I've got quite a few games in my top 10, which I can go through.
Other ones?
I've got, in my top 10, in no particular order,
Why don't we keep that as a topic for the end of the show where we all go through our top 10s? That's a good ending topic.
I don't even know. No 10
really
games.
5, we'll do 5 so it's shorter. We don't want to do 30 games here.
Oh man, that's going to be difficult. I've got to remember.
Okay, yeah. I'm writing them down right now.
I gotta think about them. I only know the top one. Alright, while you guys are thinking about that, we should do the general news. Or do you guys want to do a break?
Do we need a break?
I don't
know.
No.
Bring on the general news. What do we got?
Well, this is very old general news now. So I've got 2 articles here that have provoked thought-provoking questions that we have asked twice now. Because this is a re-record of a failed podcast.
Like 3 times.
Yeah.
Because you're a dumbass, you forgot to record your audio, and I hope you're doing it this time.
Yeah, I hope so too. Well, every time I talk, there's a giant green bar that goes up. So. The
thing is, it'd be like Bad Luck Puddy, like, perfects the way he's going to record this, doesn't record his audio.
That's the main thing I'm trying to perfect, is the way I record my audio.
So this time we're probably like, oh, I didn't pick up your audio, what a shame.
I know. Like, we're gonna have one of our 2 big guests on here one day, and I'll be like, the best podcast we've ever done, 4 hours long, done, best thing I've ever made, and then I look and my audio didn't go through.
They didn't pick up their voice.
Yeah.
Well, then you just, their voice would be worse, because you could always just go back in and be like, and just ask the questions that they were answering.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it was the bigger guests, I could just, like, chop and change and make it into an interview kind of thing.
So, Tanner, do you want to talk about some of the people that you may have on the podcast in the future? Because I think Japet was one of those people that wanted to know who it was going to be.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking about that, and I don't know what you want to handle with that. Do you want to announce it, or do you want to keep it a secret for a while?
I know one of them that is gonna happen, and that's Work the Space, is his YouTube name. That interview is set for the next Saturday from now.
And the podcast will be the Sunday after that.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. So,
and then FM-based podcast.
Yep. Mostly, it's going to be. I'll talk about who he supports, how he, the typical, why'd you start YouTube, that sort of thing. But he's also doing a charity live stream that he wants to talk about. So I'll ask him some stuff about that. The other people that I'm talking about, I'm not going to say, but, they are pretty big in the FM community. Yeah. That I'm excited about. Definitely some good personalities, I think, would be very good for a podcast. So that is all I will say on that.
In space, you have multiple other guests? I thought we only had 2.
We have a possibility of 2 more, but I'm working on more.
And I've played StarCraft with one of them. Yes. I think I told you about that.
Yeah.
I'll probably, if he ever comes on, I'll probably say, I remember playing StarCraft with you.
As the host of the show, I'm completely in the dark, people. This is an amazing podcast.
I'll tell you after the show.
I know, it's fine. Alright. Do you guys
sorry to interrupt you, but on other podcast things, like, it wasn't last Friday, but the Friday before, I was on Tipper Canoe's live stream, so if you want to go head to their channel and check it out, you'll see me on there. We were talking about some pretty good topics.
What is it called? The Flip Side?
Yes, it's called the
So I
Flip
put
Side.
that out there.
And
Puddy, continue.
He messages me on Skype every time it happens.
On what
he
you were
wakes
gonna
me
talk
up
about.
every single time.
I'm always at work.
I'm always asleep. Someone's dropped.
Not me.
Oh my god, it's not you.
Is it?
It was Carl.
Yes, I win!
Are you here now?
I'm here now.
Not you. Oh my god, it wasn't you. And someone else dropped.
That's insane. He has the fastest internet out of the 3 of us, too.
I think so.
I think we did that test last time.
Ah,
That was weird.
there he is.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's back.
into general news, shall we, boys?
Yes.
Okay, well, there's an article in the description which is basically, it's a really loose correlation to the question I'm going to ask. It's a man who can speak 11 languages, and the question I'm going to ask is, are the bilingual population to credit for the spreading of different cultures? So basically, would we have gotten this far without people able to transfer cultures between nations through bilingual languages, things like that?
Probably not.
You don't think we would have gotten this far? We don't think we would have... It would have taken longer? Do you think we would have ever got to the point where we are now?
It probably would have taken longer because as everyone speaks in different languages, it would have had taken longer to like just learn what they're trying to get at.
Do you think we would have been involved in more conflicts and the world would have basically destroyed itself?
That will probably come down to religion, and if I go on religion, I'm going to become an extremely racist person. I think you want that for this podcast. Some of the conversations I used to have with one of my friends in maths back in school, we had some heated debates about religion, and it got pretty racist.
Well, we need to talk about a dual com after this finishes. We'll move on then. Tanner, do you have any well, yeah, okay, well, we keep talking about this topic because we don't need to go into the conflicts thing then. Do you think, Tanner, we would have ever gotten to the point where we are now where, I don't know, we have politically entwined continents, we have, I don't know, trading worldwide, we have the internet. Do you think we would have ever got to this point without bilingual people?
I don't think you would because, you wouldn't ever have anyone that could, like, move somewhere else, I guess. Like, the westward expansion of the U.S. was basically helped by Native American translators. That's probably a negative thing, but, or even anytime you had to use, like, someone else to talk to, like, another head of something else we wouldn't have been able to do it, so I don't know. That's all I have.
Wow, there you go. I think that was a decent topic. We shortened it from last time.
Let's just say religion is bullshit.
At least you said it.
It's like one of those things that brainwashes people.
The views of Deano do not necessarily represent the views of the PSUK podcast, PSUK, or Tanner, Hallam, or Callum Puddy.
If anything I say about religion that affects you, then I couldn't care less because I hate religion.
I'm interested now, but I don't want to talk about it on the
podcast. On to the next topic.
The thing is, freedom of speech, you can't do anything.
No, it's fair enough.
Absolutely.
Anyway. Alright, this is, I think, in the same vein, actually. There's an article, and this was a couple of weeks ago now, because this is out of date, obviously. The NHS a couple of weeks ago introduced, I said here English checks, but it's more communication checks, isn't it? It's more, who dropped this time?
I'm still there.
Oh, it's Tanner. Introduced English checks for foreign doctors, and I think for normal doctors, not normal, damn it, I used the word normal, for English doctors as well, and it's to improve communication between them and patients, obviously. So the question I want to ask is, should we value just pure, should skill be the only, factor in deciding who should get a job? Should communication, in certain jobs where it's mandatory, be valued more over skill, or should we be inherently looking for a balance between the two?
I think you should obviously balance between the two because skill is one of the most important things and communication as well is alongside it another very important thing.
That didn't work too well.
No.
That didn't work too well, did it? No.
We've gotten back into this topic, so hopefully you'll be able to pick it up as we go along.
Alright.
Skill or communication, which one, Callum, do you think is the most important to look at if you had to pick one over the other?
I would probably take skill because you don't want to have an underperforming doctor to perform, heart surgery on you or something. Would you?
No. And when it comes to the important things, I think skill is definitely the most important thing. I think when it comes to communication, it's the trivial things. Like, I know patients knowing what's going on is an important thing, but when it comes to their lives being saved, it's probably not the highest priority.
Yeah.
Alright, Tanner, do you know what's going on?
Yes, I actually formulated a point. I would rather have a doctor that was the best doctor in the world but spoke his own language and none other than a doctor that spoke every language in the world and wasn't really a doctor.
You see,
Point summed up.
when you goes to those two extremes, I would completely agree with you.
Yep.
Yeah. You need someone with a medical license to practice medicine.
What if he's a shaman?
Depends what mood I'm in. Alright, well that's all the topics we've had for this week, but we do have one footballing one, right? I believe. Yes.
Yes.
So, I think I'll set the scene here. There was I'm going to treat this as a false story because nothing I have read says that the sources were actually real, and the only sources we can find are a French newspaper that was spoofing this. They weren't even being serious. So I don't think this is actually real, so don't take the actual article as real. It's just the concept behind it that we're going to be discussing today. So a French newspaper article, and then the Times, who decided to pick it up and run like it was real, have announced, apparently, that the Qatar royal family, that's Qatar who are hosting the World Cup in 2022.
In the winter, probably.
I thought it was Qatar.
It's like
Yeah,
Qatar.
something like that. I'm going to call it Qatar because that's all I've heard.
Just say guitar and then just put like a cute
It'll
start.
sound just like it.
Qatar.
So the Qatar royal family,
We just lost all of our Qatarian watchers.
which are like...
all
Do we
three
have
of them.
any Qatarian?
have-
watch-
We do. We have like 3 subs from Qatar.
Oh crap!
Okay. Well, we're going to be
don't
coming...
don't get your royal family on us, and don't
Yeah.
don't
Unless they want to give us money, that'd be fine.
deporting oil to like England and America. Actually, no, fuck America. You're like a lost cause to like
You
North
guys need to
Korea.
get some air conditioning before 2022. Seriously.
Yeah, you have all the money in the world. Oh, they'll have it. No problem.
Yeah. We can host 2022 World Cup in the summer. We just need big air conditioners in the stadiums.
Oh wait, funny story. Let's just block out the sun.
Oh, that's a good
With
idea.
clouds.
We just have like a Mr. Burns style sunblocker on a Qatar hill overlooking the stadium.
Imagine if the sun that had like a switch, you could just like turn it off.
How would that work?
But would it have like a reaction time?
The thing is, that would be
Technically,
instant
the
because
sunlight that's hitting us
Yeah.
now is like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
month old.
Exactly, yeah.
well, there is no sunlight hitting the coasts of England at the moment.
Sun's still out here in America.
Well, actually it is because it's reflecting off the moon. Which is true.
I can't see a moon in the sky, so you're on your own on that.
Oh,
one.
okay. I'm not looking outside my window. It's cold in Wales.
It's very cold over here.
All right, so on to actually the topic that we were trying to
The
discuss.
Qatar royal family have apparently decided to fund the Qatar Football Association for a plan to make a not European, but a Qatar Dream Football League, where they would have 24 teams from Europe, and it would be hosted in the summer, and each club would be paid £175 million just to take part.
Teams would do it for the money. Simple as
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Oh yeah. It's the only reason why they try and get into the Championship.
Except it's not fair because you're going to have teams like Man United, obviously City, Chelsea, Arsenal, maybe Liverpool in there,
Right, you're the teams that have apparently
and
been
then you're going to have like teams like Southampton get like raped by like overhauled United, City, Liverpool teams.
Yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous.
The only teams that have actually been targeted, apparently, this fake story, I have to say, from England have been Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, City and United. Let's completely leave out probably some of the better teams in the league. Like, actually, the only one I can think of is Spurs and possibly Newcastle if they get better this year.
Everton are in 7th.
Oh yeah, no they're not. No, yes they are.
Yes,
they
we
are.
dropped down to 7th.
Yeah, I-
the world is
3-0
ending.
Wigan.
I thought you were overhyping yourselves there.
No.
Ah, you lost 3-0 to Wigan.
And we
Oh
lost
yeah,
it.
don't even get me started.
Well,
Everton are
why,
in
can I ask a
3-0.
question? Why do you support Everton? Is it because of the American players that play there?
No, actually, here's the long story. So, I started following soccer my junior year of high school. And,
Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue what that is, but carry on.
okay, so
Year
11th
seven?
year,
11th
I don't know.
tier.
Year
it's
seven?
my second to last year of school before college.
How old were you when?
I was 17.
Oh.
Okay, so you were like my age. So this is like this would be our second year of college, people in England, if you went to college, which I don't.
Would it be the second year of sixth form as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so, we started playing FIFA, and I started playing with Nigeria. And I scored a lot of goals with Yakubu. And I looked up where Yakubu played. He played for Everton. And it just so happened that Tim Howard and Landon Donovan played for him too. But that is the reason why I'm an Everton fan, is Yakubu, sadly enough.
I went to Anfield before I even knew what football was, and that was the start of everything.
The only football match I've gone and seen is watch my hometown play against Bognor Regis Town, and it was an FA Cup first round, and they drew 0-0, and it was quite disappointing.
The games I went to when the United States national team played Honduras in Chicago, and then I just another game I went to U.S. versus Guadeloupe, and then U.S. versus Costa Rica? I don't know. I've been to 3 U.S. men's national team games. I can't be bothered to go to an MLS game unless Thierry Henry or Tim Cahill are going to be there. Then I'll go.
Don't you just stroll along to the New York Red Bulls, even though it's going to be an ass for you to travel all the way up to New York.
New York would be in Kansas City, but the problem is Thierry Henry doesn't play on plastic pitches, and Kansas City has one, so it wouldn't even really be
Who plays on plastic pitches?
In the MLS? Yeah, most of them, because, a lot of them are in Canada, so it'd be I think all the Canadian teams have plastic, and then there's only 2 or 3 that have real ones.
Do you know what'd be cool? They should make ice football. It's like ice hockey, but with football.
That would be very painful.
Yeah. I tried to play it once and it wasn't fun.
I've played trampoline rugby before, that didn't work out too well.
I've done so many things on a trampoline.
Alright, back to the Qatar National League.
The things with that, it would be a good league, but they shouldn't get given all that money. That's stupid.
Too much money, yeah. But how much of a gap would it create in the leagues already? Unless there's one thing on here. What if they didn't play in the Premier League anymore? What if they got promoted from the Premier League into this Dream League?
Then the Premier League would just become extremely uninteresting. You'd have teams I don't know. You probably would you would see teams like Everton win the league.
1985 or 86. Woohoo!
The last time I can think of one of my teams getting near to win a major trophy was Brighton in the FA Cup final against you.
Last time one of my teams won a title was in January of 2012. Not title.
Actually, no, the last time one of my teams won a thing was when Crawley Town and Brighton in the same season won both their divisions.
Last time one of my local teams got close to something is when Wrexham beat Arsenal in the FA Cup. That's about it. And TNS qualified from the first round of the Champions League once, and then got smashed 12-0 by Manchester City. Oh well.
I remember when Crawley Town played Man United. That was a good game. I remember watching that with my dad.
So Qatar.
The Qatar
wait.
A little oil mining country in the middle of the Arabian desert.
Let's say this league went ahead. Okay. Let's say this league went ahead. They proposed it in the summer. There's all these British and European teams, including possibly some Russian teams, and maybe Shakhtar Donetsk from Ukraine, going to Qatar in the summer. Haven't we already seen problems about this?
It would be what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Russians.
They would die. They would burn.
Maybe this is Qatar's way to get in to be the best league in the world. They're just going to kill off all the good teams.
Yeah, we'll just.
They're just going to kill off all their players.
We'll just see Barcelona as suddenly a Qatar team.
Barcelona will be a team to reference a conference league side. The Barcelona B team will be the A team, and then the Barcelona A team will be the B team. That's how it'll work.
Yeah.
That's how it'll work. But I couldn't see a league like that working.
But that's the thing though, it would completely arbitrarize.
It wouldn't work as well, because what if there's a World Cup or the European Championships or any other sort of division?
They said it would be every 2 years, so they're probably going to schedule it like that. So it's not in the way of that. But the thing is, it would completely make redundant all of the national leagues, but imagine how awesome it would be to watch.
It would be pretty cool to watch it, but at the same time, it's just gonna kill the players.
And with 107... Okay, let's say it was in the winter then. Let's say the Premier League was promotion to the Dream League. With £175 million a year extra just for participating, imagine the prize money for that. Those teams would not get any weaker because they didn't have much competition.
Because it'll pretty much just be the Champions League, but a league.
Yeah, and there'd be more matches. Like, you don't always see Barca versus... Okay, yeah, you do. Okay, you don't always see...
You see it 6 times a year.
Yeah. You don't always see Barca versus AC Milan every year. You don't always see United versus Madrid every year. You would in this situation, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but then again, it would be like, oh yeah, this is epic, and then it would just get boring.
Yeah, I mean, there were some matches this year that were supposed to be really good and weren't, but overall, I think there would be a higher standard of matches than you see in the Champions League.
Yeah.
With teams like Sheriff getting a 4th seed spot.
I do feel bad for some of the teams, like Shamrock Rovers, to name one.
Well, the teams that never make it to the group stages.
Yeah. It's like teams like in the international scene. They should actually have like an international cup where they have like the worst teams in the world just so they can try and get some notoriety.
Isn't that the 4 Associations tournament?
They have that.
It's, no, they do. It's Wales, Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Scotland.
Oh, England aren't in it. That sucks.
Yeah, no, that's good. That means that the others have a chance to win.
If we win it, we would just destroy it.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember
Scotland would be
when
the only people who put up a fight.
I remember when England was going to play Wales. I think this is like in a Euro qualifier,
we were in
and
the Euro qualifying groups for 2012.
And all the Welsh were like, "Oh yeah, we're going to beat you. We're going to beat England and shit like that," and then you didn't.
No.
And
No, it was very funny. I never thought we would. Didn't you put out like a reserve squad and smash us?
That's one of the benefits of living in England, but not one of the best areas. Because I live away from like all the good teams. Like the only good teams around me is pretty much like Brighton and Southampton, and that's it.
Yeah, I only have one good team near me, and that's Talbot Town, and they barely ever do anything anyway.
So tell me what good teams you live near.
My nearest team is 400 miles away.
Wow. Didn't you say it was Kansas City?
Yeah, Kansas City. My best team around me would be the women's college team here. They're pretty good.
Women's football in America is actually pretty good because the national team the best national women's team in the world.
They just beat Germany in a cup final today.
Oh wow, of course they
are. They've won their 9th straight one. Yeah.
Weird. I know England got to the Euros, England women's team, recently. That's about all I know.
I think women's football should be more like televised over here because men's football is good, but women's football is just going to be the same, but with women. And I wouldn't mind watching it. I was watching it at the Olympics, and it was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Call's completely dropped. That's funny.
Okay, you ended the call for some reason.
I tried to end Tanner's call because he dropped. Right, you were saying women's football is actually pretty good.
Women's football should be given more notoriety because it's pretty decent. Because as I was watching it at the Olympics, it was pretty good. Like England women were actually doing pretty well. I think did we play against Brazil? I can't remember. In one of them, I think we beat their women's team.
The league system is really good, but the television deals, I agree, it could be more extensive.
Yeah.
That's about
Except football probably will never be ever be good at that sport. Ever. The only good sports we're good at in England is cricket and rugby.
Wait, England are good at football?
Yeah, we're not. These are England's like international team can't beat like crap teams.
No, but they're like in the top 10 constantly.
They're in like the top 5.
Yeah.
But they don't live up to it half the time. I think England are going to win the Six Nations.
Oh, right. That's on Saturday, right? That's yesterday.
In the future, England will have won the Grand Slam.
No, the Welsh are going to come back from it.
It's actually pretty good how it's going to be. a England-Wales final at wherever Wales play.
Millennium Stadium?
Millennium Stadium. I swear the Millennium Stadium is like the host of like every Welsh sport.
No, we play... Our national team for football plays at the racecourse in Wrexham. And all our finals are played outside of Wales, just on the border in TNS Stadium.
In the Millennium Stadium.
I don't think we've actually played... I think there have been more English teams in football playing at the Millennium Stadium than there have Welsh teams, because of the whole FA Cup and League Cup thing that happened when New Wembley was getting built.
Yeah. So other sports England are good at is cricket, and my county has got a pretty good cricket team, or cricket side.
I like watching cricket, I just don't understand it.
Because I live in Sussex, and Sussex have got a pretty good cricket team.
Top 5 video games time? Of all time?
I think it's time.
I think
Yeah,
yes.
probably.
Alright, you guys start while I can think of mine.
If I had to do top 5, or actually if I just did 5 in any order, I would say Battlefield 1942. After that, I would say Roller Coaster Tycoon. All those games I used to play back in the day when I was a kid. Can't remember now.
I've got mine.
Well, say you go on, I'm just going to think of some games I used to play.
Alright, I got mine. Right. In, like, alright, I'm trying to think of... I'll do it from worst to best. Tales of the Abyss. I'm not sure if any of you have actually heard of that.
Nope.
It's an RPG. I'm sure you've heard of Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
It's the same battle system. It's got a great storyline. Main character goes through so much bloody development, and it's an awesome game. I love it. Pokemon Colosseum. I still think that's one of the best Pokemon games of all time.
Pokemon Red is a good game.
Red Dead Redemption. Third. I just really like the environments and the feel of the game. Deus Ex Human Revolution. Second. I really, really like the plotline of that game, and I can play that millions of times. And Fallout New Vegas is my best game of all time, and I've gone on literally for 2 hours in a video about that before, so I'm not going to bore you.
Alright, I'll do my top 5. Mine are probably going to be more of like game developers, so like at number 5 I would have any of the Paradox games, so like Victoria, Europa Universalis, and that style. Number 4, I think I would probably have Red Dead 2. Number 3, I should throw War Z in there just to piss everyone off. But I'll go number 3, Mountain Blade Warband. Number 2, Civilization, and number 1, Skyrim and or Oblivion.
Do you have any
Boom.
specific civilization for that number 4? For that penultimate
Civilization number 5.
one? I see.
I'm surprised none of you mentioned FIFA 2002 when you could just slide tackle the goalkeepers when they had 2 hands on the ball and get red carded.
I do remember that.
That was fun.
The only team I ever used to play in that game was Brazil because that was the only team I knew.
The only team I
Stupid
play as
American.
in seasons in FIFA 13 at the moment is Brazil, because they're just extremely pacey and sweaty.
Sweaty Brazilians.
Sweaty Brazil, that's what I call them.
Yeah, I don't play FIFA.
I play less and less as they come out.
That's what happened to me until 2008 when I vowed never to play the game again for 4 years.
I don't say FIFA 2005 or 2002 are the best FIFAs. For me.
Is that perfect time to end it off? Are you able to formulate your top 5?
If I just... At number 5, I'd probably say FIFA 2002. Number 4, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Number 3,
lucky.
James Bond GoldenEye. Number 2, probably Battlefield 1942. And number 1, Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Wow. What a top 5 that one
That
was.
was a good one. Alright, so.
James Bond GoldenEye was an absolute beast. As well.
Was that on the N64?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I played that game a lot.
Oh, wait. No, replace Pokemon Colosseum in my list with Earthbound. Or no, Earthbound 2. Earthbound 2. Mother 3, whatever you want to call it.
Never played it.
You shouldn't have, because it's not out in English, but I hacked it.
There you go.
It's amazing. Really good game. If nobody out there has ever played any of the Mother games, you need to go and play at least one of them. Really, really great series. Alright, Tanner. What is the PSUK main channel, even though people are able to find this video?
The main channel?
Yes.
You mean the website?
No, I mean the main channel right now.
Oh.
That probably.
Just Project Synergy UK, right? That's what the
Yes.
channel's called. What's the website?
The website is projectsynergyuk.com.
Oh, yes?
You'll find the podcast will be up on there, the Indie Spotlight videos. We're trying to do more in the forum section. But yes, the Indie Spotlight will be up before it gets up on the channel. So if you're into the indie sort of style games, it will be up on Tuesdays on the website. And unfortunately, Thursdays on the channel.
Callum needs people for his FM team, so go to the forums.
Yeah, or PM me on Skype and I'll give you a template. Just
So make sure it's
just
in
say-
centimeters and grams. He doesn't
Grams.
like feet and pounds.
Yeah, but that's what the database, that's what the editor's in like. I've done teams before where I basically made like a bunch of my friends and I basically made them all as free agents and saw what teams like signed them up. It was pretty cool. Just like looking season after season how well they were doing.
That's cool, actually. Alright, Tanner, what's your personal channel?
My channel name, I actually just changed it. It's no longer my full name. It's back to TDog082. It'll be on the
Tanner McTantan. He's
yeah on the FM team. Yeah,
different team.
it'll be on the right hand side as well as these other two guys' channels will be on the right hand side. I
There's
think.
no
Yeah,
point
that
in
should be. Yeah, Deano, you don't really use your channel. You post to the main channel, right?
But yeah, I'm at a crossroads right now with my channel. I don't really know what I'm going to do. So I don't know. What about you guys?
Or League of Legends.
I'm trying to get back on track with the Let's Plays, but I'm loving FM, so I'm doing a lot of that. My channel is Matsudiro. I'm not gonna expect you guys to spell that. It's in the description. That's about it.
Do we want to give them a word?
Oh yes, we need that. Thank you.
Do we want to use the same word?
Yep. Wait, was it a fruit?
Was it banana?
There we
It
go.
was banana.
Okay.
I have it written down.
Yeah. All right. So, if you guys have made it this far, we want to see how far people can get. I bet there'll be no comments on this. If
We
you,
really should just say the word banana like every 5 minutes, so that way, like, we know how many times
we
they've
just
listened.
say something randomly, like partway through someone goes banana, and then at the end someone says, if you can pick up the random word from this video, I will give you
Armor 3 Alpha Key.
Alpha key. Yeah, but by then I'll probably be someone else.
All right. If someone made it this far, write banana in the comments, and if Callum still has an Alpha Key, he'll give it to you.
If you want it.
Yeah.
Shove it down the throat.
No,
But we will.
you have to have this Alpha Key.
You have to have the beta key. I don't want them. We have to.
Check out PSUK, check out all our channels. Hopefully, if audio equipment doesn't screw up and I can be asked, we'll do another podcast next week.
Yeah.
With a guest. We'll see you guys then.
Yeah.